La 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 la. Hey guys, it's just Anna and it's time for a book review. Finally, another book review. I've been waiting to do this for a long time since my reading slump took a while to get out of, but I read a book, so here we go. Today I'm going to be book reviewing City of Lost Souls from the Mortal Instruments series, the fifth book in the Mortal Instruments series, and the first part of this review is going to be spoiler free, and when I get to the spoilers I'll warn you so you can click out of it if you haven't read it or if you haven't read the book, so I'll warn you before it happens. So I really enjoyed this book. At first I thought it was going to be a little annoying because when you start off it kind of makes you think that there's going to be no Jace in this book. So I thought it was going to be kind of like New Moon for Twilight, the Twilight series. I thought it was going to be like a New Moon where Edward is just gone the entire book. But then it took like a pleasant turn and I really enjoyed that because at first I was like, uh-oh, no, this is going in the wrong direction. I have a feeling I'm not going to like this book. But then it got way better. It got way better and I'm so glad it did because it would have sucked if it would have went the way I thought it was going to go. I'm really glad that it made a turn. This one is a lot more funny. It's a lot more funny. There were so many little inside jokes and mocks in this book. I was laughing the whole entire time between Simon and Clary and the sarcasm between Sebastian and Clary. The whole thing was hilarious and I just love I love how Cassandra Clare involves a little bit of comedic relief out of all this madness that's going on in this. So I think you would really enjoy this book. If you're on the fourth book and like hesitating about going into this, trust me, it's gonna be really good because there are so many funny parts that are worth it. I marked a lot of things in this book that were so hilarious. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so if you haven't read it, I'm going to go into the spoilery part now, so if you haven't read it, you can click out now. Okay, there's so much to say about this. So, first of all, I want to talk about one thing I didn't enjoy about this. Mary was a little bit obsessed in this book. We know she's in love with Jace. We know they love each other. But I think she went a little bit overboard in this book. I think she was too in love. I don't know if it exists, if you can be too in love, but I think she was a little bit over obsessed in this, which I found a little bit annoying. But it didn't bother me because I love Clary. I've never been bothered by Clary, so for her to annoy me a little bit in this book, I thought it was just a little bit unrealistic in some ways because but I enjoyed it anyways. She kind of on herself again throughout the end. So Simon got kicked out of his house and the whole mom going crazy thing, that was so heartbreaking to me because I just felt like everything is going wrong for him. He's always dealing about pleasing everyone else and not pleasing himself, not being happy. So it just broke my heart, that whole situation with his mom. But oh my god, one of my favorite parts in the book was when he met up with Rebecca, his sister, and they got together and she told him that he was crazy because she would never want to not talk to him. She wanted to stay with him and connect with him, and that warmed my heart. It was so touching. I got so emotional because that was like a really big sigh of relief for me. It was like, oh god, thank you, someone who understands, he's not a monster. So I love Rebecca for that. I just absolutely loved her. I didn't think we would see anything of Jace, any bit of Jace in this book. I thought he was going to be oh, I'm going to come out at the end, but he did appear at the beginning, and oh my god, thank god, because if it would have been like a New Moon thing where he was completely gone, that book would have sucked for me because I love Jace. I just love him. So thank god he appeared. Jocelyn just gets on my nerves. I just can't stand her at all. In the first and second book, I liked her because I guess she was unconscious. I didn't really get to see her. But when she came out in the third book and she's reappeared, I can't stand her. She's way too protective. I know she's trying to protect her daughter, but by protecting her, she's really hurting her. And this whole mess is because of her overprotectiveness. So I just hate her so, not hate her, I just can't stand her. I hope there's something that gets me to love her in the 6th book in Heavenly Fire, but I just can't stand her. And I love when Isabel stood up and called her out at Magnus's house when Simon was fighting with her about like Clary going over to the dark side. I love that Isabel stood up for him and told her what she needed to hear. I absolutely love that. She was like, no, because you don't let Clary do anything. She needs to be like her own self. You need to let her go. She does whatever she wants. Simon couldn't have done anything to stop her. Stop being such a bitch. She didn't say that, but Isabel took it to the next level, and I love her for that. And when she was done talking, when she like stood up for her, I was like, yeah, like get some piece of this. I was so into the moment. One thing I really loved is that Clary fought her battles this time. She was more like a shadow hunter, and I loved that because I felt like she needed that. In the previous book, she's like helpless. She's just stands there and does nothing, and it stresses me out. I'm like, when is she gonna like kick ass? And she finally does that in this book, and I loved it so much. She was so into the moment. She was like, yeah, I want to kick some demons' butt, and I love that so much. And like the guys like Jason and Sebastian were like who's this girl? And like, I'm Clary Frey, deal with it. All the Clary and Sebastian moments were just so touching, but I can't help but love Sebastian. I hate him and love him at the same time. And I think in this book, it made me love him a lot more because he's so believable, and I just love that about him. He just can manipulate any sort of information and inject it into your brain, and he's so good at that. I actually believed him, and when he like turned back to the dark side, I was like, oh great, like typical. You believed his act. I felt like some of those parts were actually talking about his feelings. I felt like some of it was actually real, but he just hides it. But it was so touching, like the brother and sister moments. But I got a little grossed out when he was like flirting with her and says like the incest thing about like, oh, we should get married because the bloodlines would get a lot more like powerful. That was wrong. That was disgusting. Overall, I can't help but love him. I'm sorry if you hate him. I hate him too, but I just love him at the same time. I can't help it. I think he has like a huge sex appeal. Like he's all, if you ever seen Gossip Girl, he's kind of like that Chuck Bass. I imagine him with like a Chuck Bass voice, like his provocative voice, like come to me, come to me. The relationship between Jordan and Maya, oh, finally, I'm so happy they're together. They belong together. They should live for the rest of their lives together. Oh my god. And Jordan, I think he's so hot. I don't know what he looks like, but the way that they describe him, they just, I love it. I don't know, I just, And the sexy times they have, they just can't get off of each other, and I love it. The one thing that devastated me, the Alec and Magnus relationship struggles, that crushed me because they're my favorite couple in the whole book. Them breaking up and like the ending was heartbreaking for me, and I was so mad and angry and devastated because Alec, like, I know it was wrong for him to do that, for like even consider like taking away like immortality, but at the same time I knew he wasn't gonna do it. He loves Magnus too much to hurt him that way, and I hope things get well in the 5th book because they have to be together. One thing that really annoyed me, the thing that most annoyed me about the book, when Jace was finally himself, Clary decided to rat him out to Sebastian because he was gonna go like sacrifice himself to the clave, and Clary just decided to rat him out. What the hell? Like, what were you thinking? Hi guys, I'm sorry the setting changed. This is future Anna. I was editing this video and the last part of the video got deleted or lost. I don't know where it went. So I'm going to finish off the review here. I hope you don't mind. There's only a little bit left, so don't worry. So where was I? I was talking about Clary ratting Jace out. I thought that was so irrational of her. That was so selfish in a way. I don't think she should have ratted him out at all. That was their opportunity to get rid of all of this, and she just wasted the opportunity by thinking of herself, thinking of how she couldn't live without Jace if she let him go and sacrifice himself. So I was so annoyed with her at that part. I wanted to throw this book out the window, let a car run over it at this part. But of course, Clary rats Chase out. Sebastian comes storming down the stairs and is like, "Thank you, little sister. Maybe we are a good team. I don't know." I was so annoyed at that, and she just ruined everything. So this little fight that Sebastian and Clary had before they went to the place where they were gonna have the whole ritual to make the shadow hunters into like half demons or whatever, were really going at it. And I was so nervous because I was afraid that Clary was gonna forget that if she does anything bad to Sebastian, it would affect Jace as well. And I was so afraid she was gonna forget. And I knew there was a lot of people that didn't remember that Sebastian was connected to Jace at that moment, but I knew. And I was like, don't stab him with a knife, don't do this, don't. I was so like, Clary, be careful. But so thank God Sebastian reminded her that if she killed him, because she had an opportunity to kill him, and if she killed him, she would kill Jace too. So the last battle, I was on the edge of my seat with this battle. It was so nerve-wracking. I didn't know what was going on. Everything was so unexpected and fast, and I didn't think they would actually pull through. Like Magnus and Alec and Isabel were gonna get there before it happened, but no, they gave the demon blood to Luke's sister. I was so shocked. I was like, no, oh my god. What? That's crazy. And that plot twist, man. That plot twist. So now she's half demon, I guess, and she's going crazy. And thank God that when the crew arrived, Magnus, Alec, Simon, Isabel, when they all arrived, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, go, get him, go to Sebastian, save Clary. And Alec was so badass. He was like, bam, 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 click, killing all these people. Clary stabbing Jace. I did not expect Clary to stab Jace in the chest. She could have stabbed him somewhere else, but no. She stabbed right through the chest.
Why?
And of course, yeah, like hero, she's the hero of the day. But I did not expect Sebastian to escape. I thought that once she would stab Jace, that he would like fall too and like be stabbed and dead somewhere, and they would get him. But he escaped. He escaped. Of course, there's another book. He had to have gone somewhere. And now Jace has this heavenly fire in him, and he can't touch people that much because he can burn them, I guess, and it's driving me crazy. So I guess that's the topic for City of Heavenly Fire, of them trying to catch Sebastian and get the heavenly fire out of Jace. So I'm so excited for City of Heavenly Fire. It's the last book. I'm finally going to read the last book, and I'm so excited to finish this series. But I guess a lot of people have told me that I have to read them for no devices before I read City of Heavenly Fire, which is kind of annoying because I hate it when you have to read something before you read something. So I feel obligated. So I guess I'm going to, even though a lot of people say it's better than this series, I will have to wait to see what happens. But I gave City of Lost Souls 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think City of Heavenly Fire, City of Fallen Angels, and City of Lost Souls were on the same level for me. I really enjoyed them both, and I can't wait for City of Heavenly Fire. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time. Bye! So I thought it was really okay. It didn't bother me out in the whole book. I thought that now like Jocelyn, because in the other, and who did this come? Like this voice that just I just imagine him like an Alex Pettifire, that actor, if you know him, just thumbs up. But he's so and Maya, this book, the 5th one, like you know, maybe we are a good team.